Hey everyone. So before we start, we wanted to acknowledge a little something. So we are aware of what's happening in the world. First of all, Black Lives Matter. They will always matter. They should have always mattered, and it shouldn't even be a question. If you can, please go check out any place that you can sign or donate. Still, we know it's been a while, but it's still a fight that it's important to take in account. Happy Pride Month. This episode is about that. And yeah, trans lives are real, they matter, and it shouldn't even be a question, as I said. So yeah.
Hey there, Internet! Daria here, and I'm back with Aya!
Hey!
And we're here to bring you yet another episode of the D&T podcast!
That was a little weird noise. Why can't I ever do a normal thing at the very beginning?
It's fine! This is just for funsies!
That's true.
Before we begin, we just want to say Happy Pride Month. Black Lives Matter. They're not a trend. So please keep signing, keep donating, keep doing all of that. Trans Lives Matter. Black Trans Lives Matter. And yeah. So today we are going to be talking to you in the spirit of Pride Month about our LGBTQ D&D characters that we have. I think I have more than you, but
Yeah, for sure. Mine are pretty bland, or they're just straight, or they don't have any life around sexuality or love. And I'll go into that.
I wonder who that reminds me of.
Shut up.
I'm
Fuck
kidding.
you.
I'm kidding.
Oh my god, fuck you.
My alarm. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about
there
it.
we go.
Oh my god, I'm so fucking mad at you. Oh my. Was it necessary? No, it wasn't. Did she still do it? Yeah, she did.
You know I'm a shady bitch. I was gonna do it no matter what.
Yeah, you are. But okay, let's ignore that little comment.
Okay. So, have we talked about our D&D characters here? We have, right? About both campaigns that are going on right now?
Not really. We brushed over them when we did our D&D races episode. I think we mentioned them, but ever since then, some things have happened. To begin with, I started
a
going
global
wild.
pandemic.
A global pandemic, number 1. Number 2, I started going wild with the character sheets. Number 3, we really went over that very quickly, so I don't think we really explained them.
Yeah, and then one of our DMs decided to have 4 campaigns happening in the same world at the same time. So
I think that's been happening for a while now. We just didn't know. I found out when I was we were making characters for I think
the last one shot,
the 4th campaign. Cause we needed to make new characters because we were gonna play a different campaign with some of our friends that already had characters. So one of them couldn't play that day. One of the main campaign, let's call it. Yeah, because I think there's a main campaign and the other ones are kind of side ones.
Okay, I think we should provide context.
Yeah, okay,
Just a
so
little
here's
bit.
the thing.
The main one is called the Brotherhood of the East, and then the one
it's
that I
a
recreated.
name in progress because I think it's gonna change since that one has, like, the group has changed so much.
Yeah. And then we have, but for now it's like the Brotherhood of the East. And then we have the one that I recreated on my recreating my D&D party in The Sims video. That one is in another world, but it's still important and it's going to be relevant in this video. That's why I'm mentioning it. And then there's like a mini party that was supposed to be a one-shot, but then one of the characters from that one-shot ended up in the main campaign. So now that turned into another campaign. And then we have one where our DM started a campaign with all newbies except for the DM, another friend of ours, and me. So I have a Loxodon on that one, and that one's a bit of a tinier party, I believe. It's just 4 or 5 characters.
There's a tinier one because it's one that only has 2 people. I really don't know anything about that one. I'm like on the...
We're in the dark on that one.
But... Yeah, I have no idea of anything of that one. I just know it's very steampunk. Theme.
And I'm sure at some point we'll make an episode with the DM for all 4 campaigns. I'll probably make a video on all 4 campaigns, and possibly an animated story time. So expect that.
Yeah, we've had some pretty fun stories, but yeah. So to make it more clear, let's okay. So there's like one main campaign that has like a bunch of like we're like 6 people, I think.
Yeah.
So it's that one. Then is like the newbie one. Then is the one like steampunk, and the other one we're gonna call it like. Well, this without context sounds very weird, but they're looking for a goblin. So they're the ones looking for a goblin. Why did I say goblin so weird? Well, let's ignore that. And there's the other one, like those 4 are in the same world, and there's the other one that is run by a different DM and everything. That it's like his own world and everything. So in total, there's
5 campaigns.
I think you're playing 3. No, you're playing 4.
We love to see it.
Lol. You play 4 of those campaigns, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah, you play 4 of those, and I only play 2.
But
somehow,
in total, there's 5. So.
And like, for some reason, I am the person that has the most characters, and I'm the one in the least campaigns.
You're in 3.
No, I'm in 2. Oh, no, I'm 3. Sorry.
Dude.
Like, I was forgetting about 1. And still, I'm like the one that has the least campaigns. Match with some... No, I think.
Yeah.
Well, debatable. I think, like, there's 3 people, now that I think about it, like... No, wait.
Ooh, I think I got paid. Okay, hold on.
Okay, so I'm thinking... No, yeah, I'm the one in the least campaigns. Or not?
Rip.
No, yeah, I'm the one in the least amount of campaigns. And somehow, I am the one that has the most characters out of everyone on all those. Let's just say I have a problem. Like, seriously, I have like 5 characters in total. Like, I could have 1 character in each campaign, but I don't. I only play 3 characters. Yet I have 5. But we'll go into that in a bit.
We'll go into that in a bit. Alright, so...
we should probably start with the first ones we created.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a great start point. You know what? You start. You have more to talk about.
Okay. So the first D&D character I ever created is called Tendai, and she's a black woman. Whoop. She's a teenager. She's like 15, almost 16 now.
15, 16, something like that, I remember.
Yeah. And now, for most of her life, she obviously hasn't thought about anything romance related, but she actually had a little bit of a plot line where she had a little bit of a crush on one of the town's girls, and she like sort of realized, oh my god, boys are gross, girls are great.
I mean, she's not wrong though.
Did she lie? Where's the lie? So
I don't see no way.
In my mind, she's a lesbian. She might like try it out with a guy just to see, you know, what happens, but I'm pretty sure like she a full-on lesbian.
Yeah, I think she's kind of on this situation in which she's still discovering what's going on there, but like girls seem to be prettier to the eye.
Yeah, and less dumb, you know. So there's that. And yeah, she's just that way. Just in case anyone wants to know, it didn't work out with a townsgirl.
It worked out, but like you decided not to go on with it. I mean, I think it's reasonable, but at the same time, all of us were like, we were rooting for you.
Yeah, the thing is that like they had a pretty strong connection, but Tendai realized that this girl, you know, all she wanted was to protect her family and be there for them and support them. And Tendai is like a very free soul. She doesn't really settle for a single place. I mean, she has a home and she goes back to it whenever she can, but it's not like she's completely attached to that place and that ties her down and she settles and she's constantly there. She likes to travel, she likes to experience new things, and also this girl is just starting out to fend for herself and actually defend herself, and it's not fair to ask someone to join your life and stay in it constantly away from their family, you know, take them away from who they love, and, you know, in case they die, it's basically your responsibility, you know, and she's 15, she can't deal with all of that shit, so...
Yeah, as I said, like, I think it's completely understandable, but at the moment, like, everyone at the table was like, bruh.
Yeah. Even the DM looked at me like, I hate you. And I was like, well, you can hate me, but it's what my character would do.
Yeah, but as I said, like, looking at it now, like, I can completely understand it, but right, like, at that time was, like, everyone was, like, oh my god, why? Because, like, that had been, like a big part of what was happening at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, so I should mention my character. So, I had, this one character, I am not sure how to pronounce it, like this. So she was Praxidis. And if you cannot pronounce that, I completely understand. So
we called her Pringles. So
I was so annoyed at that. So she is, well, she's still alive. She is a ranger, half elf. And yeah, I don't really know what to say about her. She's like 15, I think. She was on the younger side of the party.
Yeah.
She's 15, and the thing with her is that she lived her whole life very guarded, like in quotation marks, because she used to live in the forest, and like she's like a whole secret that I don't like. That's like a whole thing about her backstory, but she has had like a very boring life in quotation marks, as I said, because she has never gone out. Like she has never experienced any of the world because she always lived in the forest, and that was her whole world. So she just happened to meet the party at some point. Yeah, she doesn't really have like any romance related things because at 15, like, she left her house, but she didn't really leave her house. Like, she just went to live in the forest, like a wild girl. So, yeah, she doesn't really have any interactions with any other human than her parents, so of course she doesn't know really much about that type of attraction. That's the thing with her, so, yeah, maybe if she experienced more, she could kind of realize her sexuality. It's not something I really worked out, because I was like, she doesn't really need that considering her backstory. And I never really saw like any character that she could possibly like have a thing for. So, yeah, for the time being, she's confused, let's say, because she doesn't know.
She's in the questioning department.
She's in the questioning department just because she hasn't experienced anything. So, for her, it's kind of an enigma, the whole thing about romantic things and stuff like that. Especially like, and I think something like popped in her mind about it because she saw what was happening with Tendai, but as far as that goes, like she never really experienced anything. And funny thing about her is that she's no longer with the party, so it's not something that I can develop further because let's just say a goddess decided to call her, and she was like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
If you have watched Critical Role, you know exactly what this feels like. And it didn't happen because of that specifically.
Oop.
So yeah, that's kind of the thing with her. So yeah, she's just in the questioning department, but like the questioning of life, like everyone has at some point.
She's having an existential crisis. Please come back later.
Constantly. What?
Oh.
So the
And
next
then...
characters we made were the twins, I think.
Yeah, it was the twins. If you go and watch the Recreating My D&D Party in The Sims video, you would know that we have Tiefling twins. Aya plays one of them, I play the other one, and I play Natsa. And Natsa, I mean, I haven't really given much thought to her sexuality, because right now she's dealing with a lot of shit.
Yes, she is.
So I haven't been, like, thinking, oh, what does she like to fuck, It's more like, I don't know, I've always thought of her as pansexual, like, she doesn't give a shit. She's just like, you're attractive. That's it. Like, I don't need any more context. That's it. And it has gotten her in trouble a couple times, but I don't know. She's just having fun. And that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah, I don't think we can go too much into detail about them because they're... Maybe our party will find out some stuff, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of... The things that we're saying are pretty much the things that everyone knows about our characters. So, yeah, so on my side, I have the other twin. She's my niece. She is a bard. Yeah, and she, like, you'll start to see a trend. she used to live like very close, like all of that. So yeah, she hasn't really. Well, the thing is, spoilers, so I cannot say much. So as far as her sexuality goes, I don't know. I think she's just there. I don't know how to say it. Like, okay, so here's one thing about me. I am not a big fan of labels. For me, like, if you like using them, go ahead. Like, I think they're pretty cool if you like them, but, in myself, I don't enjoy them. So yeah, like, if I don't know if I could put like a label on what she feels. She's just there, experiencing, feeling, not knowing really what the fuck. And not really questioning, like, she's just like there and doesn't really fight or feel the need to understand what's going on
How she
there.
feels. Yeah.
She's just whatever, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, sorry if I don't really use a label for my characters. It's just I don't like them on myself. Most likely,
So why
I'm
would
not
you
gonna...
like them on your D&D character?
Yeah, so there you go. Like, I'm not gonna use them, but, like, if you feel like you can relate what I'm saying to a certain label, go ahead and say it. Like, I don't mind. Yeah. So she's just, like, there, not really questioning what's up. She's just living her life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, that's kind of when I went a little crazy. Okay, so after that, I think the next character to be created was maybe mine. I think so. Yeah, okay, so next up we have Iruna. And she's kind of a weird thing that I cannot say because it's part of her backstory. But let's just say she's an elf. She's a wizard, and she's like pretty centered on her studies, you know? She's like from a good family and things like that, you know? Preppy girl and things. But she's also kind of a bounty hunter because her school is way too expensive.
Yeah.
So she just kind of goes and does little jobs and thingies like that because she needs to pay for her school and her books and all of her stuff and her housing. So there's that. Also, like, in my lore for my characters, families usually, like, are pretty strict, like, on, okay, you have to make your money and you have to fend for yourself constantly. But as far as I know, that's pretty common between elves, like, on the lore of D&D.
Yeah.
So yeah, she doesn't really get much help from her family. She's just like, okay, I have to do this. So she's really focused on her studies. As far as sexuality goes, I don't think she's, like, thinking about that. As I said, she's just living her life and thinking about her studies. I'm pretty sure she would be an ally in the sense, like, it's your life, like, you can be with whoever you want, I don't care. Yeah, just in that sense, like, she wouldn't be judgmental or anything. She would be like, okay, that's your life. Don't tell me about it, because I don't care, it's your life.
Yeah.
She's more on that side of, like, don't tell me, but not because I don't like hearing about it. It's just like, I don't care.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's like, it's your life. Why would I give a crap? She's pretty indifferent. So, there's that. Then
yeah.
Yeah, she's, her whole vibe is being indifferent. So there's that. Yeah, funny story about her. So the party, like the main party, because she was my backup character for the Praxis, sorry, I said it weird, from before, like, she was called by the goddess, and she was like, yeah, sure, let's go. So I had that backup character, but I really didn't want to have her in the main party because she was a little too powerful.
Yeah, she's OP as fuck.
So. Yeah, I rolled really well when I was making her, so I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna make it harder on my DM to create encounters. So she was kind of the backup, temporary. So yeah, so funny thing, the party got in trouble. Not gonna specify in case Daria wants to do something about that. The party got in trouble, and they did some stuff. And she, as the preppy little girl that she is, and being kind of a bitch, because she is, was like, yeah, nope, and started to act like she was against the party. Like, she started helping, in quotation marks, the guards, but, like, there was some wood things I don't remember much in the way. Like, we were in an alley.
Yeah.
So there were guards. That is just not telling you much, but at the same time so confusing. So there were some guards, and they were following the party, and what she did was, like, there was someone running towards that direction, and there was something very flammable right in front of the, like, between the guards and the other person, and she just, like, used that thing, like, blew the whole thing up, and she just started saying, like, oh my god, I am so sorry, I was aiming for that guy. Like, I actually said it like that on the table, and my DM was like, roll for deception, and I was like a 20-something, and he was like, damn, they're convinced, and I was like, yes! So after that, she was just like, yeah, peace, I am not staying with you guys.
We solved it, just in case we didn't get executed, so...
Yeah,
that's a plus.
Yeah, it was solved in such a weird way.
But we did it!
We did it. So I think after that, it was one of your characters. Or maybe not. Well, anyway, just talk about your character, because I've been talking for a while.
It's okay. Another one of my characters?
There's the Christmas one, and the one used for the newbie campaign.
Yeah.
Like the recent
So the
ones.
newbie campaign. I have a Loxodon on. Her name is Sarij. She's a paladin. And I love her with all my heart. She's a sweetheart. She speaks in third person.
What? I didn't know about that.
Don't ask me why, but she talks in third person, and it's hilarious.
That sounds so cute.
She's like, I don't know. She's just wholesome vibes from her. She's obviously got the Oath of Protection, so she's just this wholesome ass bean, and I adore her. She's also very clumsy, and I don't know. I love her so much. And you know, I haven't really given a lot of thought into her sexuality. With most of my characters, I don't really think much about their sexuality because it's not something I really delve into. It's just something that, you know, at some point comes to me and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then I just roll with it, you know? So in my head, Sarij, because we haven't been able to, like, confirm it in any way on the party, she is a demisexual panromantic, which means that unless there's a very strong emotional connection, she can't have feelings for anyone else, but when she does, it doesn't really matter what gender they are. She just feels this very strong emotional connection, and therefore then feels a physical connection. I mean, she's a fucking elephant, you know? Like, so... What did you expect? Am I right?
I mean...
And I have two characters that are trans, but are sort of like my backups for anything else. I created one for a Christmas one-shot that we did way back when in Christmas.
When
Their
we could
name...
meet each other. We could see each other in person.
Their name is Rakamura, and they're non-binary. They're a changeling, and they're a rogue, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. What's your character? I wasn't there.
Well, yeah, they're a changeling, they're a rogue, and they're super fun to play. I really miss them. They're like basically Double Trouble from She-Ra, but they're based on Double Trouble. They're not actually Double Trouble. And they're just really fun to play. And I have a gymnastic girl. I still can't figure out a name for her. I already figured out her entire story, her entire like stats and everything, but she just doesn't have a name for the life of me because I can't find one that just fits, you know. And she's trans. She's a transgender woman, and she's also super fun. She has a mohawk made of crystals, and
That sounds so cool.
she's badass. I think I posted some sketches of her on my Instagram stories a while ago.
Thing.
Yeah, so I want to
don't
marry
remember.
her, but it's not
sounds
possible
so
to marry your own D&D
cool.
character. Yeah, she's an air genasi, so instead of hair, they grow crystals as their hair. So I decided, let's give her a fucking mohawk. Why not?
That sounds so cool.
It is. She's great. I love her. I want to play her one day. But I can't do that unless I give her a name, right?
That's kind of important.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty much all of my characters.
Not really, but we'll talk about the last ones in a
Well,
bit.
the last two.
Let's talk. Okay, give me a sec. Okay, so my other character, so this is the one that was in the secondary party that we talked about, that didn't really have a name, but they were looking for a goblin. Yeah, I'm that goblin. So as I said, I had my characters, and I stopped playing one of them, and the other one had to go. So I was like, damn, I'm pretty bummed. I don't have a character. I should probably start working on that. So one day I needed to record some stuff for class. And I was doing a project on geek and nerdy culture and all that. So I was like, hey, could we play D&D? And everyone's like, I can't. And I was just pretty bummed. But the guys that decided to help me out were like, hey, we could play like a one-shot. And we made characters literally rolling dice. Like,
Lol.
Yeah, we didn't pick anything from them. Literally. Like, we were just like, okay, so let's start throwing dice for everything. And then we were like, okay, race. And it was like a D20, and we looked for a list. And we were like, okay, so like this number, I think, yeah, it was like a list of more than 20. But we were like, okay, let's keep it at 20. So we rolled a 20. And whatever number you got, that was the race that you had to play with. And I was like, okay, roll. And I got goblin. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then I rolled for class, and I got sorcerer. And I was like, okay, goblin sorcerer, that's interesting. And I think, no, you picked that when you're like level 3, maybe? Like the type of magic that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So we played that, and you know, the normal, you roll stats, and we had to roll for backstory, and things like that. Everything basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's how you know it's a chaotic party.
it was pretty chaotic, and we'll go into a little bit of that in a bit. So what we what I ended up with that, I was like so excited and I was so happy and I liked her so much that I was like, can I keep her and put her in the main party? And my DM was like, yeah, sure. Cause she isn't like overpowered or anything. She's pretty average.
But we love her.
She's so cute. So we ended up with that one staying in the main party. So that's kind of what happened on the other one. As far as backup characters go, I have a bunch, like a shit ton. You have no idea.
You have so many.
I have a problem. So I was deciding a magical girl. Oh yeah, by the way, about this character. So she's a goblin, and goblins become adults like at 12. But I don't feel comfortable giving a certain love story to a character that's 12. Also, she's kind of like she was exiled? Exiled. I have no idea how to pronounce this word. I'm so sorry. She was exiled from her community for being able to do magic, so she has like no real connections with any goblins, and she's also pretty. She's like she acts like a child. She's full on child. So I don't feel
She baby.
She's pretty baby, and she just comments a lot of things during combat and things like that.
She's amazing. I love her.
She has one-liners and things like that. Like for everything, she has to say something, which is a big change from my characters. Cause all the ones I mentioned before, they're pretty quiet for different reasons. So when I made this one, I was like, okay, I want to do something 360 as far as personality goes. Like, she's gonna say things, she's not really gonna give a shit. Like, she cares for people, she's like that, but, like, she doesn't really have a home or anything, so... She's just like, she literally she's a wild magic sorcerer, so... What we did was, when she was with the other party, she suddenly disappeared. And reappear with the main party. Like, her magic went wild, and she was like, okay, I'm not here anymore, and she just appeared out of nowhere in front of these guys. Like, she literally fell on top of them.
Yeah.
So,
it's a whole story.
It's a whole story, but, yeah, so... She's pretty much a child, so I don't feel comfortable with giving her a love story. Also, she's like 90 centimeters. I don't know how many people would... Like, I don't know if there's anyone that matches her height that would be willing to be with a goblin. So, also there's that.
You never know.
I don't,
you never know.
It would be such a weird thing unless it was a halfling. Like, I don't know about that. So...
Or another goblin, you never know.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, but she's pretty much a child, and she's a little quirky, she's a little, you know, all over the place. So, she's that, so I don't think that she's gonna have, like, much of a love story. And my backup character, she is an actual child. She's a human warlock, around 6 years old.
So nope.
And that's all I can say about her, because I haven't played her and she's my backup character. And I've been working on a bunch of backup characters. I actually started making a magical girl.
Lol.
I started making a magical girl. I am thinking about making, like, maybe warlock, blind, and, I don't know, maybe deaf character.
Nice.
She's gonna be a mess to play, but I'm figuring out how to play her. Yeah, so that there's a bunch. Like, I have no idea how many.
Yeah, because some of our DMs are like, you see this massive cave, and it's like, I can't see anything.
Most of our characters have dark vision.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of them have dark. Well, not all of them.
Most of them.
So, while we're on here, so let's start with the last one. The last pair of characters.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So
Okay.
you remember you mentioned that there was kind of a chaotic party that I left?
Yeah. Well, we made another one-shot, quote-unquote.
That's not gonna be a one shot. We're gonna keep playing that. We're gonna keep playing that. I don't mind. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, I don't mind either. It's super fun. So yeah, we made another one shot with that chaotic party, where all the characters were made with like random shit.
Ours weren't.
Well, ours weren't. I created mine as I wanted. His name is Kevin. Just Kevin.
It was such a funny thing because we play on D&D Beyond. So we started seeing like the campaign because like we add them all to a campaign, and we started seeing like the names, and they were like fantasy names and weirdly written and things like that. And all of a sudden, Kevin.
Just Kevin.
Just Kevin.
And the worst part is, it's part of his backstory. Like, there's a reason he is called Just Kevin. I'm not going to tell it to you, but there's a reason he is
I'm gonna
just
end
called
up
Kevin.
finding out. I'm gonna end up finding out, and I know it for a fact. I don't know if the rest of the party, but I know it that I'm gonna find out for a fact.
So yeah, I created him. It's the first time I've ever played someone of the opposite, like, gender. So it was also really fun to play that. He's an artificer. He's a human with a mark of making, therefore artificer, and artificer. I'm sorry. So he's like so fun to play. He's just this chaotic, just incredibly chaotic neutral bitch that just loves and worries a little too much about his creations. He was part of the Licit League, I believe it's called. That is literally the academy for people who love to do crazy, dangerous experiments. And he has a little wolfie, little robotic, steampunky wolf that follows him around and is absolutely wonderful. So yeah, that's Kevin. And as far as his sexuality goes, he's straight, but he's like one of those overly enthusiastic allies that just loves to be like, woohoo, yes, gay shit, you know? And that also doesn't have a fragile masculinity, so if he's, you know, like, flirting with his friends or whatever, and they're guys, he doesn't mind. He's just like, yeah, this is fun. But yeah, he's just great. I love Kevin. Kevin is great. We stand Kevin.
So my character for that campaign, I had to do another one, so you can see I have a problem. So my character, her name is Amy, but wrote very weird because I am like a white ass mother that just wants to give their kids ambiguous names. Yeah, I couldn't go for a normal name, like anything. No, I had to go for a normal name, but write it very weird because it's like IMEE. So people started saying
I've seen it written like that, so I didn't think much of it.
People were asking me like, is it Aime or Amy? And I was like, no, it's Amy. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to write it with an I. Give me a break. Yeah. So she's a fighter. She a human, and she's her subclass is specifically the one that they just released on D&D Beyond. That's kind of a collab with League of Legends. Yeah. I think it's called the Renegade, something like that. She's a pistolier, and yeah, I can't say much of her backstory, but she's just gone around the world meeting people, and meeting people has gone into feeling things for people. So I've been thinking about it, and probably my DM is gonna hate me. Kind of like Ramona Flowers.
Yeah.
That has dated like a bunch of people, but never goes anywhere. She just kind of leaves them.
Yeah.
She's kind of a badass, but like softy, but like, you know. I cannot really go into her backstory, but she's just been meeting people and things like that. And she's
low-key queer.
She's like queer. She's not really questioning anything. Like, if she finds someone and she finds them attractive, like, she's gonna try and pull some moves to say. So that's kind of the thing with her. Yeah, but she's like very serious, so you kind of have to warm up to her. And fun fact, these two are kinda, sorta love interest.
Yeah, I mean, they're... Okay, so what we agreed on... Okay, so at first I wanted them to be exes, but then we were like, but what if we explore their dynamic a little bit more? And I was like, yeah, let's do that. And then we came to like a middle ground where it was like, okay, they met through these people because they are both like hired from separate mediums, and they meet up at this boat that they're gonna, sail on to find the goblin.
Not really. I think, no, they were already part of the crew of the boat.
Yeah, they were already part of the crew, but the point is they met at that boat. And that's where the chaotic party comes in.
Ship that was transporting things. It was more of a transporting boat. Like, it wasn't pirates. It wasn't something like that.
It's a cargo boat.
It's literally a cargo ship. But he was hired, I think, as an engineer for the ship.
Yeah.
And Amy was hired as kind of to protect it.
Yeah. So they met. And Kevin was instantly like, I like her. Can I keep her?
And
then Amy was like...
Well, Amy was just like, you're kind of funny. Yeah. I don't mind you.
Yeah, but it was like, he was like, yeah, let's for a baby. And she was like, no. Just no.
No.
Just stop.
It's not gonna happen, bruh.
Unless...
We're thinking about it. We're considering it.
We're dealing with it.
We're dealing with it. Next time we play, it's gonna keep developing and things like that. But yeah, the two of them are just. He's on more on the side that something's going on, and she's more on the side of he could be a friend. So
yeah.
Yeah, they have completely different perspectives on their relationship, so...
Indeed they do.
Indeed they do. But I think that's as far as I've heard. Oh, yeah, and... now that I think about it, that's pretty much all of our characters. So we have some queer here and there.
Yeah.
We don't really well, I don't think we really think about it. I think it reflects a lot on how we are, how we create our characters, because like we could have easily stayed like, oh yeah, they're all straight, but I think we went like, oh, maybe they're questioning, or like they don't really know, or they're interested, or they have done it, and things like that, you know?
Yeah.
They're just... And I think it reflects a lot on how we are, in the sense of... So basically, like, we don't really care about that much when it comes to love, let's say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we don't see a lot of sexuality and things like that, so... Yeah, our characters reflect that a lot. I think yours more than mine, because I have no life at all, so... There's that.
You'll find someone.
Let me be single till I'm 50.
This bit.
Oh my god. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We don't have a lot of queer characters. Well, no, we have a bunch of queer characters. We just don't really do a lot.
We don't label them a lot, and we don't, like, push anything to our DMs. Like, you gotta clarify their sexuality. It's more than, like, they just exist. And if there's any chance that they might show interest in anybody, then that's cool. But if not, it's not, like, the most relevant thing in the world. Because, you know, they're fighting monsters, going into adventures, fighting pirates, and a bunch of stuff. Like, their love life is not a priority for any one of them. So
I like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, that's pretty much, I think, how we play our characters.
Yeah.
Cause, like, as far as the roleplay goes, I think we're pretty open to anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it for this episode, I think.
Yeah, and right before we end, I have a little bit of an announcement.
That was a drum roll. Very crappy one, but I tried.
It was amazing, alright? So, it served its purpose. We are so proud to tell you that we are affiliated with Diceenvy.com. Diceenvy.com is a website where they sell dice. They specialize on D&D dice, but I believe they also make for Magic the Gathering and basically any other game that you can think up from Wizards of the Coast.
I think in general you can use them for pretty much any game that's role-playing, dice throwing, all the shebang.
Yeah. And we were lucky enough to get an affiliate code with them. So if you ever buy anything from them, you can use the link www.diceenvy.com/dorks&tea, or you can use our code at checkout for a little bit of a discount. It's also dorks and tea. So,
if
yeah.
you can't remember
helps.
that, we will try and remember to put it on the description if you're watching this on YouTube.
We're gonna...
By the way, so we're so happy to tell you guys that our podcast is finally on a bunch of platforms. If let me check which ones there we have it. Oh my god, I had it written down. So our podcast is now on Anchor. I think that's how you say it. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Breaker, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and Spotify. So
yeah,
if you want to listen to us in any of those places, feel free to do so. If not, you already know we're gonna keep uploading them here on YouTube. So, well, if you're in YouTube, if you're on Spotify and things like that. I think I'm gonna start to get used to not saying YouTube specifically because, all of the different platforms and things like that. But, if you're on YouTube, it's gonna be everything on the description down below. If not, I think we're gonna probably put it on our social media. Sorry that our Instagram is the least active thing in the world. I think that's where we have, like, no followers at all. Reasonable.
It is, but I don't think we really have anything to put there at the moment.
We'll try to be more active on Twitter, and we're so sorry for the lack of episodes. We have already said it like a million times. Life has been getting on the way of recording, so
and also, mental health, quarantine,
it's been a whole
all
deal.
of this stuff that has been happening in the world and in social media and a bunch of stuff. I started working, so my schedules are very weird. We're trying our best.
We're gonna try and upload more. We're not promising like every week, but we'll try to be more consistent. We're sorry. So that's pretty much the announcement. So go check out Dice Envy. Check us out on everywhere that we said. So thank you guys for listening. It was really fun, actually. We wanted to put more stuff for Pride Month, since it's really important for us, but don't think that we're not gonna mention things about Pride on future episodes. It was just now that we thought about it to make it a little bit more special, but Pride is still part of our channel, and
and it's gonna be everywhere, every day of the year. So
for us,
it's always
Pride...
present in our lives, and it's always present in our world. So it's not like it's just 1 month and then it's over.
Yeah,
it's like
so keep an eye out for things that we do for Pride, like first and something important, and if we ever get the chance to talk about other topics like mental health and Black Lives Matter, trans things, trans topics, everything, we're gonna try and be educated about it, and if we are lucky, get someone that knows more about the things, but because we don't like talking about like important things just out of our asses like we normally do. So thank you guys for listening.
Anyways, guys, I think that's gonna be it for this episode of the D&T podcast. Thank you so much for supporting us, and thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye!
Bye!